Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I hope your building work is going on fine. I just got off an email exchange with someone right now, and the main issue is that the person's rental property is not making him any money. I asked him a few questions, and armed with the background information, I had a very long answer for him, but on second thought, I felt that it's better for me to come on here and make a video about this because there's a huge lesson to be learned here. I wouldn't want any other person to make this kind of mistake, because this is one of the most common mistakes that people make when they invest in rental property. So from the information I gathered, this building is in a remote area. I'll call it a remote area in his village. And he built the house out of sentiment. My brothers and sisters, the number one thing that you should not do is to build or invest. Let me just say, any investment, you don't do it out of sentiment. You invest with your calculator. You have to punch your numbers, do your research before you invest. You know that a property is not something that you can just uproot. I mean, if it's a business, like a shop, you open a shop, you can one day just move your business to another place. But when it comes to buildings, you cannot uproot that building and take it to another place. So please, this is very important. From the information I gathered, number one reason is location, location, location. We've talked about location on this channel before. It's always rearing its head because of the reason I said earlier. A house is not something that you can just uproot, and take it somewhere else. So you need to really do the proper research before you build a house, before you situate a house in a particular place. You don't build a house, especially an investment property, with sentiment. Let me use my Igbo brothers and sisters as example. I'll use Igbo as example because that's where I come from. The examples I'll cite will be real examples. So you live in Lagos and you built your personal house in Lagos. That's what most Igbos do. They build their personal house in Lagos, but they build their investment properties, most of their investment properties, they prefer to build their investment properties in the East. That building that makes them money, they prefer to build it in the East, if possible in their hometown. Nothing wrong with that, because we've been burnt before. What happened to Igbos during the war is known all over Nigeria. In case you don't know, what happened during the Nigerian Civil War was that Igbos are known to live in other tribes a lot. So a lot of Igbos, or all the Igbos that owned houses outside Igbo land, lost those houses to the indigenes of those places. The most famous one being the one that happened in Rivers State, in Port Harcourt. All the Igbos lost their houses. They ran to Igbo land during the war, and when they came back after the war, the indigenes of those places, the indigenes of Port Harcourt, Rivers State, they've taken over the houses. The infamous abandoned property. The same thing happened in northern Nigeria. I'm not sure about Lagos because I don't think the war got to Lagos here, but I don't know if that happened in Lagos. Does anybody know if that happened in Lagos? So this is the major reason why you see Igbos preferring to build investment properties in Igbo land, at least not in their village, in Igbo land at least. So like I said, nothing wrong with that, because once bitten, twice shy. But please don't go to your village and build a house if your village does not support that. If there's no demand for rental properties in your village, that will be absolute waste of money. What we call iniego for nothing. You went and buried money there for nothing. You hope that your investment will make you money. The plan in this world is for your investment property to make you money. Case in point, my village, I'm from Agulu. In my own hometown, it's a big town. It's one of the biggest towns in Anambra State, if not the biggest. It's one of the biggest towns in Anambra State by landmass. But we do not have the population. There's nothing in my hometown there's nothing major that attracts people from other places to my hometown, because this is what brings the population of people that demand rental properties. Because your indigenous, the people from my hometown already have houses. Even if they don't have houses, they have a relative's house they can stay in. So nobody from my hometown is looking for a place to rent. Let me put it that way. I know that there are maybe one or two. Maybe they want to live close to their businesses in the major junctions. But yeah, it's not common. But compare that to my husband's village, they have an institution of higher learning in their village. So this attracts a large number of students. Because of that, the market there is booming. So it attracts businessmen and women selling foodstuff, provisions, because these students will eat. And because there are students there, there are lecturers there. So you need to build houses where these lecturers will live, houses where these students will live in. Because of that, the building materials market is booming. So people can actually come from other places to come and open shops and sell building materials in that place. The fashion section of the market is booming because students they are the best fashionistas. So these are what attracts external population to a place, making it viable for such an investment property. So please, location. Some people, out of sentiment, they want to build in their village just for building in your village. Do you want a house that you finish building for years? Nobody will ask you how far. No, please don't do that. And sometimes you close your eyes and take a reasonable amount of risk. Yeah, I know about what happened during the war. But still, people are building investment, like Igbos are building investment properties in Lagos. We'll be here thinking Nigeria, there will be war in Nigeria, there will be war in Nigeria, there will be abandoned property. But 20 years will pass, 30 years will pass, nothing will happen. In 20 years, a lot of people have made back the money they invested in their investment properties. Even when you want to build in your region, make sure you find a place with the population. Enugu is a place with the population, for instance. If you build a house in your village, nobody may ask you how far. But if you build a house in Enugu, yeah, you will make, if it's a 3-bedroom flat, you can make 800 to 1,000 to 1 million naira per year from that, depending on the area in Enugu. So yeah, don't invest with sentiment. Remember, invest with your calculator. It's not just about building in a particular location. You need to find out what is in demand, the kind of house, because there are so many different kinds of residential property you can invest in. There is a self-contained, there is student hostel, there are 1-bedroom flat, 2-bedroom flat, 3-bedroom flat. So there are duplexes, there are detached houses. So you need to carry out a research to find out what is in demand for that particular area. Yes, we already know that there is a population for rental, but you don't go and build a 3-bedroom flat where the one in demand is 2-bedroom flat. You don't do that, because the 3-bedroom flat, even if you get tenants, when one tenant moves out, it may take 3 years before you find another tenant. Nothing worse than watching your house empty year in, year out, because the only way you can make money is when people live there. So please do your research. How do you do that? You go to the agents in Nigeria. People, when an individual wants to find a house to live in, they go to agents and say, okay, I want self-contained, I want 3-bedroom. They tell them what they need, and the agent will start looking around, scouting for the person. When they find for the person, they contact the person. If the person goes and views the house, the normal stuff, and likes it. So these agents have a lot of information. They know a lot about the rental market in the area that they cover. These agents are not hidden. They put their signs advertising their service on the road. So you look up these people. You can even ask people, do you know any agents around here? Which agent did you use to get your house? Stuff like that. You go to them and sit down with them, have a chat with them, ask them what kind of apartments, what kind of residential properties do people usually come here and ask for? And they tell you, oh, here, this place, the hot cake is 2-bedroom flat. Yeah, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional when building these things. Yeah, I know this is a sad story, but yeah, we have made this same mistake when we started. It's normal to make, but I hope that going forward, my desire is that people will not make these kinds of mistakes. I have a video coming up about that kind of mistake that we made. Please, my brothers and sisters, do your background check. Do not invest with sentiment. Yeah, invest your hard-earned money where you make it back. Now, it's heartbreaking to invest all this money, especially in this period of high cost of building materials. You invest your hard-earned money and you watch your house vacant. You even want to sell it, but nobody is ready to buy, because of course, if people do their own background checks, if they do their own homework, they're not going to buy a house that will just be in their hands for nothing. So selling, you can't. Renting, you can't. So please, I'm begging, do your groundwork, do your background checks, do your research before you invest your hard-earned money. Click this video here for a cost estimate of building a bungalow, and click this one here for a cost estimate of building a one-story detached house. Bye bye.